There are few things in life, like parenting, which can lead to some incredible stress. It seems to stress and parenting are all too often go hand in hand. But with a little forethought and planning can help a lot. Yes, raising children takes more patience than almost anything else you will ever encounter in life. This challenging task and can at times cause you to wonder how you are going to manage, but stress and parenting do not have to be joined at the hip. Stress is a mental and physical condition that occurs when you try to deal with the issues that must be dealt with, and yet you feel incapable of doing so. It almost describes parenting to a T. There are many situations that you will encounter as a parent that you know you must undertake and press through, but ones in which you really believe you are truly incapable of doing so in the long term. Parenting requires long-term planning and a long-term commitment to the process. Yes, there are many parental goals that leave you facing a long and time-consuming path, but there is simply no need to feel completely overwhelmed and paralyzed by the challenge of parenting. There are so many resources available to you as a parent that as you work towards learning to be a better parent, you can also learn to deal with those stressful situations. As a parent, it is very important that you are a realist. There are going to be plenty of times that you simply do not meet the goal that you want for yourself or your child. This is of course true in life as it is with parenting. Okay, for example, educating your children is mandatory and terribly difficult. But there is not just one school that can provide the education for your child. There are lots of different options for education. But when you are trying to make a decision about education, which is mandatory, there is no reason to have a meltdown over it. Just make a decision, a well-educated and well-thought-out decision. Making decisions for your children should not lead to stress. While you take these choices seriously, if you allow the stress to brew, you can experience helplessness, hopelessness, chronic worry, irritability, and even insomnia. There are very few parenting dilemmas which are as potentially stress-inducing as a child who simply will not listen to you, especially when their behavior is unruly, irritating, or even violent. But again, in this situation, as in many others, there are rarely any quick fixes. But if you take the time to see the challenge for what it is and learn to deal with the situation before it becomes a stressful situation, then you and your family will be better adjusted in the long run. Minimizing stress is a worthwhile goal for which you should strive. Remember, even though stress and parenting all too often seem to go hand in hand, it just is not necessary. Chronic stress is unhealthy. Make a decision to do something different to manage the stress of parenting. Search for alternatives and solutions before you decide you have no other choice but to have a stress-related meltdown. Stress and parenting can be a thing of the past if you elect to deal with being a parent in a more constructive method. Want to develop creative talents in your child? Visit the link in the description.